What's up, guys? Epic Games is about to make a big change to Fortnite, which is going to result in better, more fair, and ultimately easier lobbies for console players. Now, I don't want to get into the whole console war, or really, I guess, platform war of who's better, console players or PC players. I mean, there are definitely fantastic console players out there. There are people who are so good with the controller that they can keep up with people on mouse and keyboard. Somebody that comes to mind is Nick Merckx. You guys know, you see him in the skirmishes and stuff every weekend. He's a fantastic player, and even though he plays with a controller, he's able to keep up with most of everybody else. Well, regardless, there's no doubt that keyboard and mouse definitely have a huge advantage over a controller. I mean, a controller, you are super limited on your inputs. I think a controller has somewhere around like 16 to 18 buttons, whereas a keyboard and mouse, first of all, a mouse is a million times more accurate than an actual joystick. You know what I mean? Like, you could be way more accurate with your aiming. Not to mention a keyboard has like 100 keys or so that you could completely customize to do whatever you want, and you have all of that available right at your fingertips. So yes, there are good console players, no doubt about that. But it's definitely an advantage if you're playing on keyboard and mouse. And I'm sure you guys are aware of a bunch of the kind of complaints and the drama that's been going on recently. Like, here's a tweet from Cypher right here. He said that of the 50 people who finished at the top of the showdown, 46 of them were on console. And when we're talking about, like, again, PC has kind of an advantage there, and if you look at like an average PC player versus an average console player, usually the PC player is going to be able to outplay them. It's really kind of unfairly weighted there, the fact that 46 people in the competition were all console players, and that's because people have been playing console with keyboard and mouse, and that leaves a huge advantage because not only are they having the better peripherals, but they're using the better peripherals playing against people who have the lesser peripherals. You know what I mean? So like, you've got the keyboard and mouse, you're playing against people with the controller. That's just totally not fair. And I think PlayStation is the only console that like natively allows this. I'm pretty sure you can just plug your keyboard and mouse into the PS4 and just play like normal. There are also little adapters like Zims and stuff like that you could buy that work for Xbox, that work for the Switch, and I think you can even get it for mobile, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so people, if they really wanted to, they could kind of cut through and cheat the system and use an adapter like that. But with PS4, literally all you have to do is just plug it in via USB, and you're on your way to destroying all the other console noobs. And obviously, this is a bit of an issue. I'm sure you guys have run into people on console that just build like there's no tomorrow, and you just like, you're kind of in awe at how fast they're building. There's a chance they could be on controller, but there's an even better chance that they're on keyboard and mouse, and a lot of people think that's unfair. Fortnite tweeted out the other day that keyboard and mouse functionality on the PS4 was restored. Apparently, it wasn't working right in the game, so they took it out temporarily, and they got flooded with hate over this tweet. On Twitter, on Reddit, on every social media imaginable, people were really upset about this, and so much so that Fortnite finally responded. So check this out right here. We're actually working on some matchmaking tech on the way that will pair you based on your choice of peripherals. So if you're on keyboard and mouse, you'll be playing against keyboard and mouse. And this is the way to do it, without a doubt, because I mean, when you're talking about looking at the actual systems themselves, like a PS4 versus a PC, yes, the PC is going to run at higher frames per second, but apart from that, it's the same game. Like, when you're not talking about the way you control your character, it's going to be the same game. It's going to look the same. It's going to, pretty much run the same apart from the FPS. So really the only difference that you have here is the way you input your controls. So why split up people based on the physical console they're on? And why not just put them into lobbies based on what they're actually using? That's how you're going to get fairer lobbies and make sure that everybody going up against each other is on a level playing field. And that's kind of what they're saying here. So it looks like in the near future, if you're using a keyboard and mouse on console, you're going to be put in PC lobbies, which I think is an absolutely fantastic thing. Now, an interesting little side note to this is somebody replied and asked that if you're using a controller on PC, are you going to be put in console lobbies? And they didn't give us an exact answer. They said that they're going to, give us more information at a later date. So hopefully with this week's update on Tuesday, we'll find out more. But that could be kind of cool too. I mean, it should be able to go both ways. I think if you're playing with a controller, play other people with controllers. It's all the same. It's all fair. It's all kosher there. If you're playing with a mouse and keyboard, play against other mouse and keyboard players. So we'll see how this works out. Another thing that I kind of had in the back of my head is like, what happens if you're on, say you're on PS4 you start off and search for a match with your controller plugged in, and then as soon as you get in a lobby, you just turn off the controller and plug in a keyboard and mouse. Like, is there a way they can detect that? Could they take you out of the game in that case? I don't know. I mean, of course, there's always going to be ways around things like this, but I think if they implemented something like this, it would at least cut back on it a decent amount, and I think it makes it more fair for sure. Not to mention, I think the console lobbies are going to get a lot less sweaty. I'm not saying that you get into a lobby with a keyboard and mouse player every single lobby, but it definitely happens sometimes, and it's going to happen less if they actually make this change. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I would love to kind of have like a full commentary after this, but dude, my voice is so bad. I've been tweeting about it randomly yesterday out of nowhere. I just completely lost my voice. Haven't even been using it that much lately, and I'm sure you guys can hear how raspy it is. I'm trying to take it easy so I can get back into the action and record a bunch of videos for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. Peace out.